super-fast sports cars with aggressive lines have come to define the future of personal transport. But battery-powered vehicles with the same high performance could overtake internal combustion. As design techniques allow us to perfect our plans for future roads, we'll see our cars becoming intelligent tools, machines that can operate without us. The range of designs available will be staggering. Automotive engineering will satisfy our whims as never before. Welcome to the transport of tomorrow. Your destination, the future. What do tomorrow's roads have in store for us? Where will the great designs come from?
It's impossible to predict the next big thing. It's much easier to make the next big thing.
This is about freeing the creative spirit that beats in the heart of every automotive engineer.
What it takes is an enormous amount of research and the strength of will to ignore every page of it.
We will gradually move towards customers starting to custom build their own cars. We'll take our people off and you design the car for yourself.
The future of design will shape our automotive destiny. The cars of tomorrow will be here before we know it. With advanced design concepts and futuristic materials. These vehicles have long been built with seat-of-the-pants know-how. But as technology improves, they'll be digitally mastered as well. The knowledge interface between human and machine will speed design times and free imaginations. Future cars will be perfected in cyberspace. Ferrari test driver Dario Benuzzi is as good as they get. He can tell exactly how much air is in a tire by the way it handles in a corner. Dario is a vital part of Ferrari's decision-making process, relying upon his hands, his seat, and his instincts to help create the cars that lead other car manufacturers. Once upon a time, it was men like Dario who had the last say in how a vehicle handled and what it needed to be improved. But in a new era of computer-based engineering, Dario isn't the only one concentrating on this drive. Every nuance he feels is also picked up by a computer. So what does it take to be a test driver for the future?
Una grande passione.
A grand passion.
Primo.
And you have to be modest enough to learn from anything you can, because there is no proper school for it.
Telemetry from car and track is downloaded to help quantify the parameters that Dario once had to feel. Suspension geometry, steering angles, chassis dynamics, gearbox shift times. Every facet of the car's performance is recorded for later use, to be double-checked against Dario's experience. Higher computer processing power allows new vehicles to be tested in real time on the track under race speeds. These readouts provide snapshots of the car's handling and performance for every millisecond of the drive. A single glitch in the performance graph can give an engineer a hint of a weak point. Return data to the vehicle allows them to tune it under running conditions. This flood of information is in effect reducing the need for finely tuned drivers. Although traditionalists will always insist on the human quotient.
what I can tell you now is that 90% of the times, direct judgment is better than the computer.
As we come to a finer understanding of the environment in which a car operates, we'll be able to perfect the non-mechanical design of vehicles as well. Air passing over a car can affect its handling, efficiency, and engine cooling characteristics. It's these constant fundamental qualities which we'll be able to better define and use to our benefit in future vehicle design. Climatic factors will be built into databases which virtual cars can drive through. Safety tests are the most important test a car can go through. The live or die test. The last element of vehicle design to go digital.
They're very near, at some manufacturers, being able to run it completely hypothetically, if you will, a virtual safety test, and be able to tell you what the production car will be like. So it's not just designing the car, it's the next stage is going to be developing the car.
For the first time, we're now able to build a car from the wheels up in a virtual environment. A computer design program called ICE is the key.
Well, ICE is a new software package. It stands for Integrated Car Engineer. And basically, it's a new design tool which incorporates human knowledge into the design process. Unlike the existing computer-aided design systems, which are basically dumb, this actually puts the knowledge of an engineer baked into the design process into a computer model.
This is proof of the power of computer design. This is the Lotus Elise, hailed as one of the best cars of the 20th century. It was entirely built on ICE. No prototype was ever built. Where most cars can take 5 years or more, the Elise progressed from computer screen to track in just over 12 months.
The Elise has been said it is probably the most innovative and exciting and memorable sports car that the 21st century has ever produced, and that's been written about recently. It has a aluminum chassis. It has a braking system which is also based on aluminum brakes. It has the most exquisite road holding of any sports car I've ever driven in.
The computer design program ICE has thousands of hours of auto engineering knowledge built into it. If a seat change is made that affects driver position, ICE will tell you. It already knows what an engineer takes decades to learn. Put that computing power in the hands of the greatest automotive thinkers in the world, and you've got the future of driving. This is a model for the technology we'll all use tomorrow. The McLaren F1, said to be the greatest production car ever built, is what happens when a designer is given free rein. Formula One designer Gordon Murray built this as his dream car. The McLaren is one of the fastest, most powerful and expensive cars in the world. The first carbon fiber production car. Absolutely one of the best.
We will see technology from things like the McLaren F1. It will make its way down. It's a very, very competent, fast touring car. You know, an aspirational vehicle to almost anyone, and it's known the world over.
This car is cut by hand using the most advanced materials technology available. The carbon fibre is then cured under pressure. The F1 skin is literally cooked into shape. Each body takes 3,000 hours to assemble. That's 1.5 man-years. At that rate, only 300 of these million-dollar cars will ever be built. Despite the cost, they too have to pass mandatory crash testing. Built in a laboratory clean room, the F1 demands exacting specifications. $5,000 worth of 22-carat gold leaf is used as a reflective heat insulation. The F1 even comes with its own customized service kit containing more than 120 tools, including a modem. The McLaren factory will digitally tune your F1 every night while you rest easy. But not all of Gordon Murray's cars are so exotic. The Rocket car weighs only 370 kilograms and is powered by a high-performance 1,000cc motorcycle engine. It was built by former Le Mans driver Chris Craft and designed by Murray.
So what we may land up with the tank coming up here.
Where the F1 is about as sophisticated as it's possible to get, the Rocket is a case of getting back to basics. Only 34 of these have ever been built. Every one will become a classic in the future.
Most cars today have got pretty anaesthetised and too much power steering, too much power brakes, you know, no real contact with the full bits of rubber on the road, no feedback really for the driver. The best thing about it is the fact that it gets right back to fundamentals, seat of the pants stuff, where you we have the wind in the hair and 360 peripheral vision, but also magic steering and direction changing and massive brakes.
Motorcycle engines are the most advanced in the world, and teamed with the Rocket's ultra-lightweight body, power-to-weight ratios are produced which outrate supercars by 50%. It's the product of a racer's knowledge and a designer's ambitions, an ideal combination to drive us into the future.
Most automotive engineers I've ever met always say to me, I always want to try one idea that I know will work if only I have the time, but they're constrained by cost and by time and all the other things that make up with a business.
But given the time and the money, cars can be built that set new records. At 0 to 100 kilometers in 3.2 seconds, the Vertigo is only half a second slower than Formula One.
I
really wanted to make a Formula One car for the road. Even though I'd stopped racing, I still felt like I wanted some competition.
Tony Gillet used to race Formula One. He retired from the track and, along with designer Charles van den Bosch, built the Vertigo.
I had a dream, and I saw really the car driving on the road. The next day, I made the drawings. When I'm drawing a car, I hear the car, I have the impression sitting in it, and it is necessary to have it correctly, to have it right. It's quite a living person.
The Vertigo holds the world production car record for acceleration, giving it a status as singular as its styling. A turbocharged Cosworth engine powers the Vertigo. The use of carbon fibre throughout the car has lightened the engine's load, giving it blistering performance. Personal visions like these of what's possible set the benchmark for what we'll see on the roads of tomorrow.
You have been participating to the construction of something which will have its own life. And that's a very amazing and exciting feeling.
But unless these petrol burners can learn to breathe cleanly, they may ultimately disappear into their own smog. Environmental pressures could spell the end for internal combustion engines and their dangerous exhausts. We'll need safer solutions if we're to protect the air we breathe. Developed in Hawaii, the Sunray is solar electric. Rather than offering blistering performance, the Sunray focuses on practicality, durability, and simplicity.
There we go.
The Sunray's single motor is powered by 10 12-volt batteries and a solar cell.
Okay, let's check the voltage here.
And while a conventional car engine has more than 2,000 moving parts, the Sunray's has just a handful. Indeed, a standard sedan has about 25,000 parts, while the Sunray uses just 2,000. Zero to 100 in 18 seconds may not excite too many people, but we may not have any choice.
The prognosis for developing more oil resources is not looking too good, and the fact that we've gone too far with the oil anyway, we're putting too much pollution into the air right now. So we think the future is bright, and we think the future is in sunshine.
Classically simple and environmentally friendly vehicles like these will become the people movers of the 21st century. Ital Design's Biga is being developed in France. European authorities have these robust hybrid vehicles shortlisted as the best option in a user-pays fleet of town cars. These public vehicles won't be designed for luxury, but for economy.
The range is the single biggest drawback they have. A hybrid will address the range problem because, let's say, as your battery starts to go flat, you can go to the piston engine, or while you're in battery power, you can fire the piston engine up to run it at a constant speed to help charge the batteries.
Biga is driven by electricity, but uses a diesel engine, which kicks in when power runs low and keeps you going while it recharges the batteries. Simple controls and vehicle layout will ensure maximum public acceptance. They'll be available for hire by smart card to anyone who needs to get around city centres. By providing these vehicles, governments are hoping that more and more environmentally benign cars will be used for short distance travel. Increasing concentration of population in major city centres is going to make cars like Biga, coupled with improved public transport, an absolute necessity for inner city commuting. If you only have to stop for a moment, you can simply reserve your Bega until you return. Europe's streets are already perilously overcrowded with vehicles. The Bega will mean less congestion. It will also help reduce the impact of exhaust fumes on Europe's architectural monuments, decaying at an alarming rate as acid rains dissolve them. A more user-friendly solution may be vehicles with all the qualities we traditionally want in a modern car, as well as an electric engine. Peugeot is already testing a fleet of electric hatchbacks in several European cities. For $200 a month, interested drivers are able to go electric. The cars are controlled and handled the same as their fuel-burning rivals. The only real difference is you need a different kind of filling station. Their batteries are good for 100 kilometers, and they offer that hallmark of electric vehicles, silence. Recharges come via special charging posts. Several are sited around the city and offer a fast charge. 10 kilometers worth in 20 minutes, billed to your credit card. Slower home charges will be used to gradually top the vehicle up overnight. But without a high level of battery charging infrastructure across a city, electric vehicles may never leave the garage.
Pure electrics are, I would say, if we see one within 25 years, I would be pleasantly shocked. I will be pleasantly shocked. I suspect it'll be closer to 50.
This is the Blitz. 0 to 100 in 6 seconds, and it runs on pure electricity. Italian design company Bertoni says the Blitz is the solution to our air quality problems. The Blitz has all the standard controls you'd see in any other car, with the advantage of instant torque from its electric power plant.
Io sono orgoglioso di aver contribuito.
It's still quite easy to drive, despite the weight of the batteries. And if any progress is to be made in the future, then trying to get the weight down is critical.
The Blitz has a brilliant performance envelope, proof that electrics don't have to be slow and conservative. All we need now is the development of new batteries which will weigh less and last longer.
There are technologies coming up, more work on metal hydride batteries, lithium-ion batteries. Beyond that, fuel cells, which will use a process to separate hydrogen and oxygen from water at the time developing electricity.
Work on fuel cells has been progressing for years. It's only recently that the process has been developed to reasonable levels. American researchers are now working on using petrol for the process, cutting exhaust emissions to almost zero and dramatically extending range. The Bertone ZER is the fastest electric vehicle ever built. With a body weight of just 980 kilograms and an extremely low drag coefficient, the ZER is aiming for a new electric world speed record. 34 lead-acid batteries will push the ZER to around 360 kilometers an hour. Much of the design technology for future cars will come from the aerospace industry. The technology which allows these advanced military planes to fly can also be put to use on the road. It's no coincidence that this is one of the most advanced fighters in the world, built by Swedish automotive company Saab. So what is in store for us next? Drive-by-wire, perhaps. A control system that transmits instructions electronically to the steering system. This Saab 900 test vehicle is using a side-mounted joystick. Joysticks could well be safer alternatives in the future.
Det alltså kan få den att vara symmetrisk, och handen är ju inte symmetrisk. Det lätt att göra utan något ideal. Det kan variera.
Mechanical steering systems rarely fail, and electronic versions must be just as safe. But the greatest challenge for drive-by-wire systems is to provide realistic driving feedback through the steering system. Bumps in the road are normally transmitted up the steering column into the driver's hands, providing information about the interface between vehicle and road. Drive-by-wire systems, however, have no steering column, so that essential road feel has to be recreated with tiny servos that make the joystick shake and vibrate, much like those in modern aircraft. The difficulty is in sorting out the important bumps from those that are irrelevant. Neural networking computers from aircraft will help make drive-by-wire possible.
I can't promise that in every single MPV, saloon or sedan in the world, but it's that type of feature innovation that we can expect in the future.
A further innovation is the Intelligent Computer-Aided Driving Program, a system that takes drive-by-wire to its technological limits. These Volkswagens are steering themselves, making their own decisions as to how close to follow the vehicle ahead. Overhead cameras keep an eye on the road, while lasers watch the car ahead. Ultrasonic sensors measure the distance to the guardrail. Between them, they keep the vehicle in a safe position. All the driver has to do is wait for the turn-off.
To do it on a grand scale is going to be a very expensive project, and one that I'm sure at some point in time some nations will pick the ball up and run with it. But it's going to be a while off, if for no other reason, the cost in finding somebody willing to pay for it.
Trucks and long-distance road transporters will be the first to take advantage of these technologies. Their size, heavy use, and the value of their work make them an obvious first choice for future innovations. This is a concept vehicle designed by Mercedes-Benz to demonstrate how long-distance hauling could become more economical and ecologically sound in the 21st century. Looking more like a high-speed bullet train, this is the future of trucking. The EXT92 is aerodynamically shaped to reduce wind friction and is fully loaded with onboard cameras and guidance systems. It can pull its trailer forward to fit snugly behind the cabin Moving just a few millimeters closer improves overall aerodynamic performance by as much as 10%. At speed, the EXT92 has to continually adjust this space to allow for turning and lane changing. Cameras and radar systems watching other cars and the road ahead will keep the EXT92 on track. The same camera vision is fed through computers that can read road signs and markings. In the future, we could see convoys of these just centimeters apart, saving precious road space. The fusion of advanced technology that this truck represents will revolutionize how goods are transported on increasingly crowded roads. Cameras, radar detectors and lasers will monitor road use as well as weather conditions and adjust traffic signals accordingly. Real-time monitoring of the roads will make them as controllable as the vehicles that use them. Computerized surveillance systems, which can read a license plate and other information, will speed up police monitoring. There'll be an estimated 1 billion cars on our roads before 2020, more than twice as many as today. With a burgeoning population, we'll need this level of control on our crowded roads for the sake of commercial efficiency as well as safety. In-car navigation in all vehicles will be an added spin-off.
Exit airport and follow signs to 436 north. Drive straight through the intersection onto SR 436 center and R.
The network which watches our road behavior will also be able to provide real-time maps, locating us at every second of the drive.
Drives onto SR 436 center and Boulevard. Next turn. In 6 7/10 miles. In 6/10 miles.
This test vehicle provides directions to all major points of interest, as well as any address you request, instantly available on a dashboard-mounted screen.
Bear right onto the ramp to east-west to west.
Verbal instructions will keep the driver's eyes on the road. While on the way, your navigation system will continually update your progress and warn you of traffic hazards ahead. But rising road populations will increase the likelihood of collision. Safety will be a priority as never before. Infrared night sight technology, until now used only in military aircraft, will soon be available to Jaguar drivers. Clearer than high beam and without blinding oncoming drivers, infrared has the ability to turn night into day. Specially shielded headlights bathe the oncoming road in infrared light. This is picked up by a roof-mounted camera and displayed across the windscreen as a head-up display.
With infrared, the contrasts are quite often a lot stronger. For instance, dark clothing. Although it looks dark in visible light, in infrared sometimes it can look as white as a white shirt.
Jaguar plans to install this system early in the next century. At the other end of the visual spectrum, ultraviolet light will also be used to lighten the road ahead. UV light is invisible, but when it's reflected, it becomes visible. Pedestrians are illuminated as well as specially painted road markings, such as barrier posts. some of the ultraviolet spectrum is actually harmful to human tissue. These headlights are specially filtered to protect bystanders. This sort of system can turn 50-metre night vision into 150 metres. But the future is not about how many features we can fit into a standard vehicle, but what kind of vehicle we'll be able to build around the features. Designers have been churning out forms of the future for years. They're as varied as the designers' imaginations. Size, shape, and configuration are all negotiable.
We will gradually move towards customers starting to custom build their own cars. Well, we think it's going to revolutionize car design. As we move towards the 21st century, the consumers are getting more demanding. They want lower cost. They want not more choice. They want specific cars designed for their specific tastes.
28-year-old Thomas Drury wanted his own four-wheel drive. So he had one built. Driven by a V12 Mercedes engine and rolling on Boeing 727 tyres, this off-road monster is the only one of its kind in the world. Thomas uses it to get around his family's property near Frankfurt. But things don't always go to plan. Experimental prototypes have a nasty habit of breaking down. Luckily, this four-wheel drive comes with its own two-wheeled alternative. Franco Sbarro, one of the world's most imaginative designers, is the man who built Thomas's truck for him. This is what Sbarro built for himself: the hubless wheel.
Franco. It's a good thing he's there. I mean, he's proof that not all the Swiss are boring.
By putting the stress point of the wheel as close as possible to the ground, Sbarro has managed to remove one link in the energy chain that travels from the bike's engine to the road.
What it's given me is a new solution in that I've dramatically lowered the unsprung weight. There's much more stability from the lower centre of gravity, and the whole thing functions on a median line that is as close as possible to the ground.
We may only see them on luxury cars and motorcycles at first, but ultimately this may become a new standard for vehicle wheels. Motorcycles already lead many of the design trends in contemporary transport. Their power plants, for example, are improved yearly, while car engines see advancement only a few times in a decade. In the future, bikes will be a logical starting place for advanced vehicle design. The Wagner Monotrace is a bike trying to become a car. It'll do almost 250 kilometers an hour and comes equipped with a CD player, air conditioning, and a luxury interior. There's a BMW motorcycle in there somewhere, but everything has been stretched and lowered to accommodate two passengers, while providing speed and stability above and beyond conventional motorcycles.
The long wheelbase is actually the thing that's needed most by all motorcycles, because a normal motorcycle has much too short a wheelbase and much too high a center of gravity, so that when you accelerate it, it will lift the front wheel, and when you brake, it will lift the rear wheel.
The Monotrace's side wheels drop for support when stopping. They're controlled from the front seat, and are computer protected from deploying at more than 5 kilometers an hour. The monotrace can be laid on its side and picked up again quite simply. Similar in design is America's Pulse car, which takes its styling cues from aircraft. The aerodynamically shaped fiberglass cabin of the Pulse car reduces its drag coefficient to 1/10 that of a motorcycle and rider. The computer design revolution which makes the Pulse car possible will ultimately provide a specific car for every need.
There's going to be emerging and developing economies where the impact will be far greater, because the next big thing is never researched. It has to come intuitively and from people who are developing a product, who understand the product and have an affinity for it.
With an average annual income below $2,000 a year, it'll be quite a while before the Jamaicans require anything exotic in the way of transport. Instead, they've built their own car to suit their own needs and lifestyle. The Jamaica car was designed by car makers Servwell as a modular vehicle to suit many needs inexpensively. Rugged chassis and heavy-duty suspension were required for Jamaica's roads. But the real attraction is the novelty of a single platform that can become 4 different cars in a matter of minutes. Swap a few body parts and the vehicle changes from family transport to an all-purpose van to a pickup truck or an open-air leisure car. A second-world people mover built for the future. For people with finer requirements, there'll be finer people movers. The Aston Martin Lagonda Vignale is designed to please the most refined tastes and needs. The design process that created it was driven from the back seat, a place that had to be large enough to accommodate an open broadsheet and crossed legs, as well as room for a workstation. At 5.2 meters long and riding on truck tires, the Lagonda was designed to carry the latest in technology, hidden beneath its retro styling. It takes a lot of power to push this cruiser through air, so the Lagonda uses deformable panels that change shape under wind pressure to smooth out the airflow over the car. Styling is a matter of taste. This is an exercise combining classic form with high-tech functionality. The front seats have built-in controls which access the entertainment system. In the rear are folding tables to hold a computer, as well as a miniature television for each passenger. The Lagonda will use a switchable V12 engine that turns cylinders off to become a V6, saving energy during city driving. This is yet another vehicle that was fully mastered on computer. It was designed from interior outwards and driven in cyberspace to prove its concept before the prototype was built. Columbus is an attempt to bring the first-class flight experience down to ground level. At 6 meters long and weighing 3 tons, it outranks all but the longest stretch limousines. Up front, the pilot's seat is separated from passengers and is center-mounted for a maximum field of view. Etal Design has already put 60,000 hours of development into Columbus, its vision of the transport of tomorrow.
We're not going to be cruising around in befinned flying bubble-topped cars, sadly. And I'm really, really upset that Rick Deckard's flying car from Blade Runner won't be available, because actually it would make my commute beautiful to look down in Sydney Harbour. I'd love it. Not available.
We can already get a glimpse of the personal transport beyond tomorrow. The Raccoon buggy is an advanced prototype. It represents the future as far as we can see. The Raccoon looks remarkably like a scarab beetle. It was in fact inspired by the bubble canopy of a helicopter, giving passengers almost a 360-degree view. Windscreen wipers have been replaced by sonic transducers, which vibrate raindrops to disperse them, and a host of other futuristic features.
We have a feeling that the automobile has reached an end of a phase, let's say, which is the end of speed as such. And all the myth of the automobile is being built upon power and speed. And so this vehicle was designed in order to try to find new limits, to try to find new horizons for the automobile.
Hydraulically controlled jacks adjust the Raccoon's attitude to terrain, keeping it level. Its ground clearance can be raised or lowered by 50 centimeters. Our love affair with the car is a century old now, and it's certain to continue into the future. Yesterday's cars broke our shackles with the horse and buggy. Tomorrow's cars will set us free once again. They'll allow us to rediscover our planet in new and environmentally friendly ways, to leave the freeways behind and to choose our own course in the future. The only thing certain about the road ahead is that you'll need a car to drive it.